You are tuned into an episode of Faithful Friday on the Faithful Sinners. Hey, welcome back, friends, to Faithful Friday on the Faithful Sinners podcast, where imperfect stories meet perfect grace. I'm Timothy Baker, and today we're closing out our week-long deep dive into one of the most powerful forces that shape our lives, which is belief. Now, this week, we didn't just talk about belief. As part of our weekly fire starter, we dissected it, challenged it, and invited God to help us rebuild it. So today, we're going to revisit what we learned and reflect on how it hit us. So, what did we learn about belief this week? This week's Inspired Sunday message reminded us of something simple but very profound. We believe what we've been taught. Now, if we've never learned the truth, we can't build our beliefs on truth. And Sunday, we walk through the 5 different types of beliefs, each one shaping how we see God, ourselves, and even the world. First being reflective beliefs, which are examining why we believe what we believe. Then there are perceptive beliefs, which is the it looks like assumptions. Then there are objective beliefs, which are our interpretation of reality. And predictive beliefs are formed from our past. And faith belief is the belief that doesn't come from training, but actually comes from God Himself. And we learn that faith, the size of just a little mustard seed, isn't about its size, it's about its source. And we also learn that faith breaks the isms like racism, criticism, legalism, defeatism, or pessimism, not because we're strong, but because God is strong. But let's get real for a moment. This week, you probably noticed, like I did, that your beliefs were showing up in places you didn't expect. Maybe you caught yourself reacting instead of responding. Or maybe you realized your assumptions were louder than your discernment. Maybe you saw old cycles trying to repeat themselves. And maybe you felt the tension between walking by sight and walking by faith. And maybe, just maybe, you realized that some of your beliefs weren't built on truth at all, but on your pains and fear, habits, or history. But that is the beauty of renewal, because Romans 12:2 doesn't say be transformed by trying harder. That would actually be pretty funny, because it actually says be transformed by the renewing of your mind, because renewal is a process, belief is a journey, and faith is the fuel that powers it all. So let's review our fire starter challenge, which was identifying your beliefs and finding resources that validate them. Now, personally, I found numerous articles and documentaries that show the archaeological evidence of Jesus Christ. What did you identify? I would love to learn about what you found, and you can share those details in the comments section, and I do read those. Now, remember, it's easier to stand firm in your beliefs when you have ways to back them up. So I encourage you to follow up with that challenge. But now here's some exciting news, because in 2 weeks on August 28th, Faithful Friday will be conducted live at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do a brief review of the week's topic, and then we're going to dive into your comments, and most importantly, address the questions that you pose live. I'm really excited about this next step for the Faithful Sinners and our community overall, because Faithful Sinners is about rebuilding communities through open, honest, judgment-free communication. So this will be our first step on that journey, and I'm excited to have you joining me. So as we wrap up this week's journey, remember this, please. Belief is the doorway, faith is the key, and obedience is the walk. And if you can hold on to even just a mustard seed side of faith, God can move those mountains you didn't think could ever be shifted, including addictions you thought you'd never overcome, which is going to be our topic for next week. This has been Faithful Friday on the Faithful Sinners podcast. Now, if this week has challenged you or encouraged you or woke something up inside of you, please share it with somebody who may need it and could benefit from that encouragement. And don't forget to subscribe and follow so we can bring even more great content. But for more inspiration, check out our other episodes on YouTube at The Faithful Sinners or on our website, thefaithfulsinners.com. This is The Faithful Sinners, where we don't pretend to be perfect. We just try to be better than yesterday and sin better together. Thank you for tuning into this episode of The Faithful Sinners, and get more inspiration on our website, thefaithfulsinners.com.